Hey guys, you're about to watch the Leikjarinn podcast episode 2 featuring Russ Lyman. The overlay that I had, the lake cast, it was like a Sega Genesis look to it. We were using Discord to record the podcast and OBS to put all the stuff from Discord onto that to record. And somehow, for some reason, Discord lied and told me that everything was mirrored and reversed. So I did that on OBS. So the recording was not what I was seeing. So everything is reversed in the podcast, like the overlay, but not the advertisement thing in the corner. But, keep that in mind. So it's been a while. So try to enjoy the podcast with me and Russ Lyman. Hello everyone, welcome to Leikjarinn podcast. It's been quite a while. A lot of stuff has happened. Stuff has added to my game room. I'm currently fixing up my game room. My daughter is now in the world, and I'm trying to figure out what console I should start with. My guest today is Russ Lyman. How are you, buddy?
Great. How are you?
We had some technical difficulties here in the beginning, but hey, what podcast doesn't have that?
That's true. I was going to say it's not a real podcast if you're not having technical difficulties.
Yeah. We did a podcast a long time ago when I had it a little bit different. I recorded the podcasts and I left them on Twitch. This is before I thought, I should put this on Spotify and the audio file should go on everything in the world. This is before that. That was a while ago. I can even put a clip here while we're talking. From our old recording, and back then I was in my old game room. Now I'm in the freeze chamber because it's quite cold in here. This is at the top of my top floor of my house. It's like a bunk. I'm like Harry Potter, a game room, which is cool. But man, kind of talking about that, I wanted to throw in maybe the first topic here. You have been in your game room for quite a while, but you have moved, right?
Yeah. So the original, if anyone ends up seeing my content and whatnot, a lot of the stuff was filmed at my mom's place. So I had the basement there.
Yeah.
But then recently I have now moved in with my wife. We have a condo, and I turned one of the bedrooms into the game room. So quite smaller from a full basement. So we kind of had to make do with the space we had. So I got a few DIY videos on my YouTube channel of building it out since we had a clean slate, and we're like, what are we going to use this room for? I'm going to be gaming in it, recording content, streaming. So we kind of had to fit in as much as we can, but not make it crowded essentially. So some stuff still had to stay at mom's. I do have a cool PlayChoice 10 dual screen arcade cabinet, which is just too big to bring in here. But I do have a arcade 1-up, which fits a lot nicer.
Yeah, man.
And then we ended up turning the closet I have over here, instead of putting clothes in there, it's kind of like my DIY station. So we hung some pegboard up there, and so I can hang some tools and kind of do my DIYs there. But it's working out pretty good. I'm enjoying it.
Do you miss the old DIY place? You had like a garage. No, you did it outside the garage.
Well, yeah, there was like a carport that was covered there. So yeah, a lot more room at mom's to do a lot of the DIY stuff. And then even again, filming in the basement, I had a nice big table, and I could put, the tripod behind that and have a tripod facing down, so I could get the top down view. So you kind of have to get creative in this smaller space now, essentially.
Yeah, man. Like, people don't realize, but the roof is like crooked. Like, I can't
slant it.
Yeah, which is cool, but like my game room goes really far back. There's like a CRT like way over there. This is quite far away, and like, sure, I could put like, I guess, like a blanket right behind me, so the sound only goes into this small area where I am. But I mean, this is a really nice mic, and I have some stuff already on the everywhere. But I'm trying to, like, I did a test footage of me like getting Rob the Robot in the mail, and he was supposed to be and is going to be a part of my Leikjarinn review. And I did like a test, like, okay, I have 6 hours. What can I do in 6 hours?
Yeah.
And I wasn't able to find like a nice angle, even though there are nice angles that I've seen from other channels where I'm like, man, gaming historian just has like a small shelf behind him and just a couple of things on it. It's not
Right.
about
Very
the stuff
minimal.
behind you, but I just own so much stuff. I want to show it, all of it. And in my old game room, you remember I had these big shelves, and the tube TVs were like in the shelves. They were so big. And the game room was huge, man. So yeah, now I'm in a smaller area, but yeah, I kind of wanted to ask you if you miss. I certainly miss my old game room, but I can't miss it because I can't miss it as hard as I would because I never made anything in there. Only live streams, but that's just me sitting in the chair. That's just me sitting in the chair. So not using what I have, but yeah, totally. I love this idea from Game Dave. He was talking about this on one of the podcasts. When I would love to see this. It's like Pimp My Ride, but Pimp My Game Room.
Okay.
But it wouldn't be as ridiculous as Pimp My Ride, like put a fish tank in a glove box and the fish tank where the engines would be. It's more like makes sense. Yeah, like if you and Game Dave and other people, and yes, addict and stuff would come over here, maybe you would like check out what I have, what my situation is, and make it work. Like find some shelves that fit exactly there, and because I have this unique roof, maybe huge wallpapers could go there. You know,
I was gonna say, it's more kind of thinks of like a HGTV show, like Fixer Upper or something like that, where we come in, assess the situation, and go, okay, this is what we could do: custom shelves.
Don't
here,
break walls,
lighting.
just
open everything up. We got to knock down some walls.
You're already like hammering down a wall, like, no, Russ, no. What? I'm gonna put an arcade machine in here and a fish tank.
That's it. I gotta have a fish tank.
Man, have you ever had a goldfish?
I was gonna say, what's funny with the fish tank, if you bring that up with video game, I always see the picture someone recreates level 1-1 from Mario in a fish tank.
Oh my god!
And I'm like, okay, that's cool, but why didn't you do a water level? They have water levels in Mario. Do the water level. Why are you doing the land level in the fish tank? To me, it didn't make sense.
Noobs. I would put the I don't know. It would be cool if you could have, like sprites, like, and you could make lights, blink, like, so it would you could
so
create
like
movement.
Moving, kind of.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, okay.
And put that in, and maybe TMNT, like the NES game Ninja Turtles.
Oh yeah, like the water level with that. See, I haven't seen that.
That would be cool, man. I could do that.
Maybe a DIY. I'll write that down.
I'm gonna have to ask my girlfriend, like, hey, can I have a goldfish? What is the actual reason? Oh, I'll tell you why. Actual reason. So, down to topics. Before we start, I wanted to just ask, how is life? You're a dad. I'm a dad.
That's right. Me and you are dads now.
we're daddy gamers. What did I write here? Daddy game.
Daddy game game.
Daddy game. I was thinking, like, what would my daughter say? Daddy game? Yeah. Well, she would say in Icelandic.
Well, how old is your daughter now?
She just turned 2 months.
Wow.
So I'm a little bit behind you.
Right. Mine's 10 months.
Yeah, man.
This month here, and it goes by quick. Like, she's growing out of her clothes, and we're like, no, stop growing. I remember you, this little baby I can hold, and now she's walking around and she's babbling a little bit. She'll be like, dad, and I'm like, dad.
Russ.
Right. So no full words yet, but I know it's coming soon, and it's certainly a challenge. Still creating content and be able to do everything that I did before. You know, you kind of have to modify how you do stuff. Yeah. So usually Wednesday nights, I told my wife, like 8:00, you know, that's when I stream. So from 8 to 10, I stream, and from 10 to midnight, I record my podcast. So she's kind of on the baby if she starts crying or something like that, so I can have that time. and then I took an extra day off from work,
Yeah.
so I have 3 days off during the week that I'm with the baby Gwen is
Yeah.
Gwen's her name if no one knows, watching her. So she's doing 2 naps a day. So I'll get up early with her. Then she'll probably go down about 10 a.m. and then I can run into the game room and maybe record some footage or get some gameplay or whatever I have to do. And then when she's up, I'll have the TV on and my computer at the desk and could kind of edit here and there. So you
Yeah.
kind of do brief moments of things that you can tackle still while trying to watch the baby.
Juggle the diapers.
Right. I have streamed a few times and she came on with the stream.
Yeah.
I think I streamed with her when she was very young. I was kind of nestling her and holding the controller for a little bit.
Beating Contra one hand.
Right. So we'll see once she gets a little more able to like just sit in one spot. Like I can't just have her sit on the couch because she's like crawling everywhere. Everything
Hat
is going
bubbling.
in the mouth because she's teething. So it's like stop grabbing Stimpy or Ren back here. Certainly a challenge, but it's awesome. It's a good time. And she has definitely look into. I have this Game Boy that's a teether. So it's
Oh.
shaped like a Game Boy. Where the screen is, it's just empty. So she likes to put her fingers around that and she can grab it and just like chew on it. So I have that and I have a NES remote. They're like rubber with like bumpy things in the back, so it feels good on when they're gumming it, I guess.
You can put it like in a freezer, maybe cold.
You could. I
Yeah.
don't know how long it would stay cold though, because it doesn't have like the water in it. Because we have
Oh,
those,
yeah.
the rings with the water.
Yeah, we got like a giraffe or something. I need to get
But
some gaming stuff.
yeah, and then I've gotten, some clothes here and there, gaming related. And I
Yeah.
ordered like one of my favorite bands has like a onesie, so you would grab that.
Oh, cool.
But we dressed her up. Her name's Gwen, so we dressed her up as Spider Gwen for her first
Yeah.
Halloween and for convention. We brought her to 2 conventions so far. She's been to Retro World Expo in Connecticut, and then we went to the Portland Retro Gaming Expo out in Portland,
She's
Oregon.
been on more than me.
So,
I've never, man. I need to get my ass and jump on a convention like that. And like people are like, oh, who are you? Oh, I'm Leikjarinn. Oh, have you made any stuff? No, not yet.
not yet.
But yeah,
Working on it.
My girl, her name is Carolina, and
Okay.
we own the only gaming onesie I have is like Player 3 has entered the world or entered the game, stuff like that.
Yeah, we did T-shirts for the kind of not gender reveal, just for the announcement, baby announcement.
Yeah.
We went to a arcade, so I had a shirt that said Player 1, and my wife said Player 2, and then across her belly said Player 3. So that was pretty fun.
Oh man, that's awesome.
See if I could look up a photo while
Cool.
you're chatting about yours.
Yeah, with me, like I am thinking she might, and I'm hoping in the future when she's a little bit older, she might like trying out like NES and then N64 and SNES and Sega.
Right, yeah, the classic systems.
Yeah, and if we go to like a summer house, I own like a SNES Mini, Sega Mini, NES Mini.
Oh yeah,
Hopefully
yeah.
by then N64 Mini. Only because I'm thinking N64 is like we could play like Mario Party 3, the best one.
Yeah, the good
Mario Kart,
multiplayer games.
Yeah, stuff like that. Yeah, like I own PlayStation 1 and 2 and all that, but I want to introduce you slowly to like the classic stuff. And I own an arcade machine. I own Pac-Man, but it's at my friend's place in the city. I've never been able to move it over. I
ended up getting a Pac-Man arcade. My wife played it at her dad's friend's house growing up. So then she ended up purchasing it. He was selling it and gave it to me as like a wedding gift. It's Pac-Man Plus though. So it's like a harder version of Pac-Man and I can't get very far in it. It's like, this is so hard.
I lost out big time. There was a small arcade in Reykjavik, the only arcade like in the entire land of fire and ice. They were storing arcade machines. They had like Terminator, Donkey Kong, Pac-Man, Galaga.
Nice.
But there was one that I really wanted. I really wanted that Donkey Kong. I just watched the King of Kong documentary, and I was like,
Oh, okay.
man, I
Yeah,
need
yeah.
that. I need that stuff just to have it in the background and play it. I really like and I'm going to get in the future when I have more space. Because this is not our last station. We're not gonna live in this house forever. We're
I
just
see.
so that's why I'm not thinking about
It's
this
going
game room
crazy.
hardcore
Yeah.
because I know I'm gonna have to take everything out, you know. But yeah, I really wanted a Donkey Kong arcade cabinet. I do like these one ups. Oh, there we go. So for audio version, we're seeing Russ and his wife in a man. That's a nice arcade, and they're
Yeah, they
wearing
got
a
a Donkey Kong
T-shirt.
right there.
Player 1, Player 2, and Player 3, and there's actually Donkey Kong right there in the background.
And we put over player 3. There's a Yoshi egg and a princess crown. This way, it's
Yeah.
a girl.
Only
But yeah,
gamers
that was
would
a place.
know.
That was at a place called Gamecraft, and that was actually the place we had our first date. We went
Oh
on our
wow,
first date
full
there, so it was good
circle.
to return. Yeah, and
That's
we ended
nice.
up seeing them at Retro World Expo. They had a little booth, and we mentioned that, and they were like, "Oh, here, take some like free swag. That's so cool."
You should go there again with like a fake T-shirt. Hey, another baby's coming. Give me free stuff right now.
Yeah. Give me some more arcade coins or.
Yeah, I guess we can go a little bit into finding time to create. Like with me, like I'm Leikjarinn and people know about me here in Iceland and all that, but I've never gone all the way into making a video. And I know it's just like play the game, write the script, record on screen and off screen and B-roll and all that. And I got the Adobe
Mhm.
Premiere and all the tests. Like I always make these tests. I've done a test
Okay.
footage with a mic, a test footage, and then I put them all together and then I send it to like the guys from Retro Weird Octopus or some of my other friends, and they're like, "Man,
Mhm.
this is great. Just put it out there." I'm like, "Yeah." It was fun making this test. They're like, "You stop making tests and make like a." And there was a great my friend Matt, who is the voice for Rob in the
Okay.
Leikjarinn review series. He just told me like, you know what, just make a video because I know you enjoy it. Just make it
Right.
for
Right.
you. No one is gonna like. He wasn't being like bullying or anything. He was just saying no one is gonna watch it.
Right.
That's
Right.
just the reality of it. He's not talking about not people that know about me might come and check it out, but he said there's been such a gap between you said you were gonna make like 6 episodes and nothing happened and nothing happened. You're doing a podcast and a Twitch. He said he told me you might just be comfortable just streaming and doing everything in one long take, which is a stream. Then he
Oh,
told me
right.
like
Right.
you might even be even better to do um, stuff you can edit because if you can just ramble on for hours on a live stream, you can throw in a
Then you
lot
could.
of takes, you know.
Right.
So
Essentially, cut it
yeah,
down to what you need, and then put maybe B-roll over that.
yeah. I got like I have written down the first games I want to tackle, and I decided the first 3 videos to be games that I'm not passionate about these games because if I am, I will go way too overkill on it, and it has to be
Okay.
like perfect, perfect, perfect. Like I can't start with Chrono Trigger. I
Right. Right.
I want to do that in the future when I may be better at this stuff, so I can do it justice. Even though
I'm just
yeah,
getting. I got to get it filled in. I have got side topic. I'm
yeah.
working on a video game tattoo sleeve, and I do have Chrono on my
Oh hey, look at
front of
that,
my arm there, so he still has to get filled in. But
man. That's
I was
nice.
like, oh, Chrono Trigger. Yep, gotta put it on there. I said, I imagine a bunch of people are gonna confuse it for Dragon Ball Z. Be like, oh, is that Goku? I was just like, yeah, sure.
Yeah, sure. Non-gamer, get out of here.
But yeah, I mean, creating content, certainly it's tough to take that first leap and get it going. A lot of
Yeah.
people get caught up on like, I don't have a good camera, I don't have a good microphone, maybe the format that you're creating it isn't flowing well, editing software, like there's a lot to take in when it goes to creating content, and
Yeah.
it's,
Also, when you're a
getting over
one-man
that
team,
hurdle.
it's double hard.
Right. You're filming, you're editing it, you're
Mm.
writing the script, you're making the thumbnail, all the
Color
extra stuff on
correction,
it.
audio correction. There's so much stuff. So when
Yeah.
when people in my chat sometimes like, where's the videos? I'm like, there is so much that I gotta do, and there's like some things that I I haven't touched the dopey for a while, so it would take me a while to, of
I'll
course,
relearn it.
yeah, I know the real basics, that all the basics I just need basically to make a video, because I'm not doing effects. Like I'm not
Right, just like a
on like a
cut, how to
game
cut
dev
it, the
level,
clip.
you know?
Yeah, how to insert some text or
Yeah,
picture.
because I won't really use that. I mean, Rob will have voices, but that is just camera pointed at him, and then I just put the
Then you
voiceover,
do voiceover.
know.
Yeah.
So it's nothing like that. But like, I wanted the eyes to blink, and who knows, maybe I can just figure that out through YouTube to do like a nice blink, stuff like that. But yeah,
Yeah.
finding time to do stuff now. Like now that I have a daughter, I have a baby in my life. I don't have all the time that I had, but it's strange because
Mm-hmm.
now I have to slow down and plan something I didn't have and didn't do when I had all the time in the world. Because
Right.
I
Right.
was like, I have all the time in the world. Like I can just do this like a month from now, and then boom, baby. Oops.
Right. Oops.
So yeah,
Yeah.
I'm trying
Certainly
to
being
manage it.
organized with that, you can see for sure. Like
Mm,
again, how I mentioned, I do 2 videos a week for my podcast. The podcast is the weekly Warpipe.
yeah.
So we put it on YouTube. So we have the YouTube channel, but then it's on Spotify and all that as well. So we record Wednesday nights, and then I'm still off on Thursday. So I get the audio files and video files the next day and usually edit it down and upload to all said platforms and get them scheduled. So that's like one day. Then
Mm,
if I want to make something for my main channel on Russ Lyman, that's kind of throughout the week or whatever. I'll pull up a project and be like, okay, I want to tackle this.
yeah.
And again, and most of the time I can edit a lot at night when the baby's asleep and maybe even the wife went to bed early. So then no one's kind of distracting me. And I'm like, okay, let me get into a good flow state and
Yeah.
get my editing going.
Because the first podcast I did on my YouTube channel was just me. There was just like I called it like Leikjarinn podcast, me, myself, and I or something. And I was just introducing myself, and I went through like you and Game Dave and Gaming Historian and all that stuff, and like all their personal things. And it's hour and a half long, but
Yeah.
it took me 8 hours to edit because I was always throwing in clips.
Okay.
It took me a long time, and then but I enjoyed it. I did on stream, so people were talking to me while I was editing, and we
Oh,
were
okay.
listening to some music, and they gave me some ideas, like, "Hey, you're talking about your old village where you're from. You should go and grab some like drone footage, if there's any drone footage of, instead
Mm-hmm.
of like an old picture of my village." And I found on YouTube, and I wrote to the guy who owned the drone footage, and I put
Okay.
like his name. All this stuff
Yeah,
takes
do the
time. I
credit.
had to wait for him to answer, and so small things. Just because I wanted to add that like 6 second clip, I had to ask him to get permission to use that freaking drone shot, and I had to wait for
Right.
him 2 days for him to answer me. I was editing all
Okay.
the stuff in the way, but stuff like this is what people don't realize when you're editing. Stuff can just happen, and man, it takes a while, especially on my speed, which
Right.
is not fast. But you are, man. There was a video that you made. I think you were showing. It was a vlog. This is a long time ago.
Okay.
I think it's a vlog, and you were, maybe you went to some retro expo, but then you were on a bus or a plane, and you were editing like 3 videos or something on the plane or something like that.
Oh, well, I'm trying to think. I did go one time again to the Portland Retro Gaming Expo,
Yeah.
but I had flew to New Mexico to meet my friends, and they were driving from New Mexico to Portland up the coast, and I was in the back essentially with my
Yeah, I think that
laptop,
might be it. Yeah.
editing on the way, getting videos ready, still on the road. So I try to never miss a scheduled video. With the podcast, the weekly Warp Pipe, we've been going for over a year now, and we
Mm,
haven't missed a week. I was like very adamant. If it's
that's
called
nice.
the weekly Warp Pipe, it needs to come out weekly.
Yeah. Have you never had like close calls? Like, shit, man, we almost didn't upload this.
Right. We kind of have to plan where, if I'm going on vacation or Jay's going on vacation, we'll double down and record 2 episodes in one week.
Yeah.
So then this way, okay, I'll edit the next one and we're off for a week, but we still have content coming out.
Mm.
So we actually have to do that for next week because I'm going into the city Wednesday, New York City, to see the Broadway play Sweeney Todd.
Yeah.
So that should be pretty fun, but I'll be there most of the night. So I'll get back too late to record the podcast. So we'll have to do it, Tuesday night or something like that. So we get the workaround.
Interesting. Yeah, I got this work ethic. Like when I start, I'm like, I think just my ADHD, man. Like I was talking to my girlfriend about this. Like sometimes it's actually happening right now. Like I'm on a StarCraft craze. I'm just like, man, I really love the story and the suits and all that stuff.
Mhm.
Like I'm not good at the multiplayer thing, but I enjoy it with friends. But I'm playing through the main story, and I'm starting with a StarCraft 1, the remastered. So
Okay.
like I like how it looks, like pixelated, like the old one. But the
Mhm.
remastered version has like wider screen, and you can switch between the graphics just a click of a button, which is nice.
Oh, okay, nice.
So I can look at the changes. I love looking at like, there's a skeleton in the corner, and then I click F5 and it changes immediately to old school, and there's no skeleton. I'm like, they added that,
Oh, okay.
stuff like that. And also StarCraft 2 is like really nice, and I'm watching all these documentaries, and then Russ, for honestly like a week from now I might just, oh my god, go on a Lord of the Rings craze. No more StarCraft.
Okay, switch it up.
It goes on a hold, but I
Right.
always, my girlfriend like, why do you have like Back to the Future things and Mario things and Zelda things and Firefly stuff and Formula One stuff? And I'm like, I have so many
Your mind
interests.
yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, it's not a bad thing to have different interests, right?
Yeah, but I have the quite crazy. Like I go in a huge spam, but it's nice. I need to
Yeah,
use this craze
certainly
in
juggling,
videos.
say, yeah, juggling playing multiple games sometimes could be a struggle. So
Oh
I can see
man,
you focusing in on one for a while and then,
oh
okay,
man.
let's move on to the
She
next
came
thing.
once. He was like, "Are you playing like this League of Legends game?" Yeah, and Hearthstone. Yeah, I mean it's a card game, and this is like a MOBA game. I can just play the MOBA game and waiting for my opponent in the card game, and then I'm playing two games.
Oh, at the same time?
She's like,
Oh,
"What?" I'm like, "I know it's crazy, but there's a mission in this game, and I don't want to miss out on the rewards."
that's
I did
funny.
like one time, and goddamn. So jumping down the list on podcast, digital versus physical. Like I can start maybe with
Right.
this quickly here. Like with me, of course, we are collectors. We like the physical. Me, rather
Mhm.
than clicking install on Steam to get Chrono Trigger with like a bad ROM, or the actual physical classic Chrono Trigger that I just put in my
Mhm.
actual SNES and game on. Uh, and just seeing it on a CRT, just, I don't know, nothing beats that. The only the only thing that I like about old classic games being digital
Yeah.
is only because if I'm recording like a video, because I don't have an Elgato capture card,
Oh, I see. Okay.
so I could just do an emulation of Chrono Trigger and then hold the physical copy. And if I'm showing something explaining like a CRT, I can point the camera at the CRT and show stuff like
Show
that.
that way.
Show the
Yep.
game go in the console. I can show the physical aspect of it, but just for recording sake, it's so nice to be able to Chrono Trigger this. And if I'm like running through the game, I can put everything on super fast mode or something. I don't know, and gun through long battles. And if there's something specific I want to show, and I'm having a hard time beating this thing to get there, I can just save there and try it all
Mhm.
over and over until I'm finally there. So there's
Right,
also that
right.
struggle for making a video, like going through the entire game, noting everything down. But if I'm doing it
Right.
digitally, it's always quite easier.
You're right, right. I do get some digital games, but I struggle with paying, $60, $70 for
Oh
like
my
a
god, yes.
AAA title. The new Mario comes out, $60
Early
or, you
access
know,
also, like,
right. Like you get that during the Nintendo Direct. It's like, you can early access now or pre-order now. It's like digitally. And I'm like, no, I'll wait till it comes to the store and I'll buy the physical copy.
exactly.
Because the whole main thing with digital is if I want to let you borrow the game and I have my physical copy, I could just hand it to you. I can't do that digitally.
Yeah.
Nor can you sell it. If I'm done with the game and I want to trade it into GameStop or wherever game store, I can't do that with a digital copy of the
Yeah,
game.
for sure.
So like I really think it should have some type of discount. Why are you paying full price where they're not paying for shipping, packaging, delivering, or an employee selling you the cart or any of that stuff?
Mm.
So it should be at least $10 cheaper. I don't know.
Yeah, like I use a website and an app like called GOG, goodoldgames.com, and
Okay.
they have like all these classic games like PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 2 and old PC games also just all crammed there. And it's
Mm-hmm.
all they like goodoldgames.com, as in they like if it's an old DOS game, they
Okay.
make it so that all you have to do is just buy the game, install, and click play. And they have these specific programs in all the games on GOG where there's no, you don't have to open up DOS and type in like play game now, enter 662, like all this
Oh, I see.
crap that
Yeah,
you
yeah.
had to do. It just opens and it goes widescreen. And if you want to take old school control, you just click like a wheel next to play
Mm-hmm.
button, and you just click like normal mode or something like that if you want to
Right.
have that experience. So they give you like really fresh of breath air feeling to these old games, and you can have them all in this GOG app. Uh, and then if you want to experience how really hardcore it was, then you can do it like this. And it's
Mm-hmm.
strange with like Blizzard. They have like Warcraft 1 and Warcraft 2, but
Okay.
it's on GOG. It's not on the Blizzard app where they have all the other games on Diablo
Oh,
and the
interesting.
remastered versions. So it's strange that you have to go over to GOG that cared enough to fix up the first and the second game, because they're quite hard to play, I guess. Sluggish and slow, and but it's the
Okay.
nostalgia effect that people go for. And what I'm getting with this is basically like you can go on Steam and buy maybe, let's just say, Chrono Trigger on Steam. It costs like $30, but then you go into the reviews and people are like, don't play on Steam. Go on this
Okay.
site and get this ROM emulator, and put the ROM from the Steam folder and drag it into this, and you have to patch it. Like, why am I buying it for $30 if I have to get a different tool? I have to find a patch online to. Why didn't they fix the game when they just put it on Steam? Like,
Right,
this is
right.
also something that can happen with digital games. Like the the laziness of just throwing it out there online, letting people buy it. That can happen
The
also.
I guess the backside of that is I do like that a lot of these indie developers
Oh yeah,
can easily put their game out on these eShops, on Nintendo eShop, on Steam and whatnot, where they don't have to start up to make that
yeah, like
physical
Shovel
game.
Knight and all these games.
Right. And like, they're not expensive, maybe 5-10 bucks or whatever. And I'm like, sure, I don't mind spending that to give it a shot and see if it's good. I'll
Hmm.
put it on my wish list. Sometimes they'll go on sale. And then even sometimes they'll end up getting a physical release. There's games like Limited Run that put out games that you can get,
Yeah,
and Super Rare, I think, is another company where they'll take these games that were digital and get you that physical copy for your collector needs.
yeah. I only done limited run once, and I got the Sega Genesis game Fire Shark, and I don't know. It wasn't that expensive. It wasn't that expensive.
Some of the games now, like with limited run, with these like special editions that they come out, get ridiculous for sure.
Yeah,
So I try to get them, as soon as it drops if it's something I want. Well, a fun one was you ever play The Messenger?
yeah.
So that was a great one. I downloaded that, really enjoyed it, and then I was going to PAX East in Boston game convention, and I knew the developers were going to be there. And I actually used Photoshop and created my own cover art for the Switch game. I brought it to their booth and I like showed it to them, and they were like blown away and they thought it was awesome. So they signed it, they gave me a t-shirt, and it was around the time they were doing the DLC for the Messenger, which was like beach themed or something.
Yeah,
So their booth was like a tiki hut, and they had lei flowers, so they gave me like leis as well,
man,
like
that's so cool.
all the swag. And then it eventually came out physical. So I took the Switch case that I had them sign and I switched it with like the art from the real one. And I was like,
Man.
perfect.
Yeah. The oh, this is actually a nice topic into that topic about physical. Like when we're talking about NES games, like
Mm-hmm.
Full Quiet. I know you
Okay.
tried
Yeah,
it
yeah,
out,
yeah.
and I got my own copy. And for you guys listening and watching, this is a brand new NES game. I own a couple of other brand new NES games like Carpet Shark and some crazy. Man, that's a good one. Um, but that is so cool because like you can make NES games today, and they always, at least the people that use NES Maker, and they are in this big like it's a big family of just NES people that
Mm-hmm.
fans that make great NES games using the classic tools back then. Um, and you can get that physical, but you can also get that on Steam, like that Carpet Shark game and the other games from him. Fista Games. Actually gonna be on the podcast at some point. He has a pack on Steam where you can get all the games, and it's a ROM.
Okay.
But
Mm-hmm.
then I own one of his games just physical
Mm-hmm.
in like an
Oh yeah.
arcade shelf with a manual and everything. So and like a fake man, he was so nice with this. It's like a fake number you can call to like get help if you're lost in the
Oh,
game,
like
but it's a fake
helpline.
number, like a hotline. Yeah, so that's cool. Like when people these old these new classic retro games, I usually call it, like these new ones coming out.
Right. The company is Retrotainment, who've
Yeah.
put out quite a few. So they've done the Full Quiet, and they also did a Garbage Pail Kids game that came out,
Oh man.
and that was kind of cool because they had two variants of the shells. One was a hot pink translucent shell, and one was a blue translucent shell. So if you got the game, your chances of getting the pink shell were lower because they only made 500 of those, but they made more of the blue. So I did end up purchasing at one of the conventions the game, and I got the blue one. I was like, oh, I didn't get the pink one, but it's certainly so it walks this line. Do I want the physical one? I bought the game and I think it was like $80, complete in box, manual, everything. Or you could get it on Steam and it's like $5.
Yeah.
So it's like, do you want that physical game in your collection because you like holding it, seeing it, you're a collector, or do you just want to try the game out? I'll just play it on Steam. So I could see that, digital versus physical. Maybe I don't want to drop $80 on a NES game. NES games are supposed to be 10,
Mm,
$20 or whatever.
yeah.
So it's up to you as a collector. Do I have room for this? But yeah, I picked that up. I have Full Quiet, which I've got the physical copy. I backed that when it
Did
was on
you
Kickstarter.
did you get the minus green, transparent green?
Yeah, I'm trying to think what color mine was. Yeah, mine's green.
Yeah,
I was trying to
I
look
think
on the shelf over here.
I did like a uh I don't think I went full on. I don't think I went all the way with the purchase. There was some yeah, exactly this one. Yeah, I got this one. Russ is showing us here his copy of Full Quiet on NES. So this is like a, you can get stuff like this. You can still get NES games, Super Nintendo games. There was this game that I got actually. It's somewhere in my game room actually. It's a Sega Genesis, like a brand new Sega Genesis game. It's like you play this fox trying to save this forest.
Okay.
It's pretty cool. It's on Steam also, stuff like that. So that is nice. As a collector, you can get these brand new NES games. And the cool thing about these people with the new NES games, they use the old tools, but they know so much now than what they didn't know back then. So they can really like abuse,
really push the limits to it.
Yeah, for sure.
I was gonna say, I don't know if you know, they're coming out with, it's gonna be on modern consoles, but they're also making it on a cart as well. But they're making a Rugrats game.
Oh man.
Where you can play as Tommy, Chucky, and all them, and it looks pretty awesome. It kind of reminds me of the Garbage Pail Kids game I played, because with the Garbage Pail Kids game you can change your character on the fly. There's, I think, 4 kids you can change as. So I think the Rugrats game is going to follow a similar structure on that.
Yeah, I saw on Steam. Maybe this will probably be on Nintendo Switch and all that stuff. Toxic Crusader.
Ah, yes.
It's like a beat 'em up. That's cool. Uh, I think it's a part of the guys who made the AVGN games.
Right. It's taken over by retro. Is it Retro Wave? I
Retro,
believe
yeah,
is the
Retroware,
company. Retroware. Sorry.
yeah, Retroware.
But I got to play it when I was at PAX East at the convention. They had someone dressed up as Toxie
Oh
and
man,
some of the other characters. It plays very similar if you played
the new Turtle
TMNT
game.
Shredder's Revenge.
Yeah,
Yes, so
yeah,
it
that's
kind of
that's
looks
what I
like
was
that.
thinking when I tried the demo just through Steam. Yeah, it's man, I don't know, digital, physical. I think it's all good, but as for us, maybe as collectors, we look at this maybe a little bit differently.
Right. I
Yeah,
mean,
we
it
got
comes down
some.
to how much space you have too.
Yeah, for sure, man. I had to
Especially
stop.
you being in a small.
Yeah, I had to stop my collecting crave because I can't put more stuff in here. We had some things here about movies and TV shows, video game related. There's a new, like I've seen the Sonic movie,
Okay, just the first one or both?
just the first one,
Okay.
and there's two things I really like that that fans spoke out that made them change how it was supposed to look. Like, what the
Mhm.
heck was that? But now he looks great. I mean, he looks great. But I I I didn't like it was in our world. I would have want
Okay.
the guy, like the human, his friend, like the cop.
Right. Mm-hmm.
I wanted them to start in our world, but I was always waiting for them to teleport through the ring, and now he is in like Sonic's world.
Right. They only show you very
Uh,
briefly, like when Sonic was young,
yeah, Green
that
Hill
little
Zone. It
story.
just barely showed
Right.
the first zone. I'm such a huge Sonic fan. It was my first game I ever played, and I was like really hoping for this. But like, there's this when Sonic Mania came out, they made these little shorts,
Okay.
like cartoon shorts of Sonic. So greatly well done, and there's no dialogue, just
Oh, okay.
classic like facial expressions and music peeking in when raging or sad or crying. Or that was great. I wanted a movie like that, but they could, of course, a voice act. That's what I want. I don't feel like like live action really worked. I haven't seen the second movie. I know Knuckles is there, and it was really
Right.
cool to see at the end of the first Sonic film that Tails came out. Tails looked great. I was like, if you mess up Tails, I swear to God. But everything looks good. But yeah, I wasn't. I didn't want them to be in our world.
Yeah, they in the second one they start kind of leaning more towards on the main characters
Yeah,
instead of the human characters.
yeah.
So they're slowly, you're getting less and less of that story. So
Eggman
hopefully
was great.
right. He gets more of how you used to seeing him in the second film,
Mm.
with the crazy mustache and the red coat
Does he
and
not get
goggles
like
and all that.
fat or something?
So far, no.
Oh man, they should do that. I
So
knew
we'll see.
I saw an interview with Jim Carrey. He said,
Jim Carrey.
I want to go full on like he was, like when Eggman is in the floating thing, like the floating
Yes.
machine. He wanted
Mhm.
that, but he wanted to be stuck in that because he's so fat. That was supposed to
Oh, okay.
like Jim Carrey is throwing in gold. Listen to the
Right.
man, because
Right.
that was what I like the most about the Sonic movie, the first one, is how Jim Carrey was able to go into his old groove, his old silliness.
Yes, yeah.
He wasn't. He was just able to just do the facial expressions and the funny timings, and so I
yeah.
like that. I like that.
It is open up to a third movie.
Yeah, they
So
should
whether
definitely
he's
do
going to
that.
go full
Oh man, that would be
fat
nice.
Eggman, we'll see.
That'd be nice.
But it had well received by all the kids and everything.
Yeah,
They enjoyed
yeah.
it, made lots of money. So
It's not
definitely
made
going
for
forward
us.
with that.
It's not made for us. I gotta.
Right.
We gotta think that. You
Now,
wanted
did you see the Mario? I was gonna say, did you see the Mario movie?
Oh, by the way, I haven't seen the Mario movie, and I'm really surprised. But I think because I can watch it anytime, I just have to turn on the TV, and I think it's on some of these channels.
Oh, it's on one of the streaming. Yeah.
But I think I am maybe just waiting for, as I was saying earlier in the podcast, this craze that goes over me. If I go on a huge Mario craze, I think I'll just
Mhm.
sit down and finally watch what's the movie? I own the old VHS Super Mario Show.
Oh, of that one, yeah, the show.
I only own 3 VHS tapes. I'm not sure how many there were. But in one VHS tape, there's like 6 episodes. So I mean, it's not
Gotcha.
one. But you want to talk about? I don't have any knowledge about anything about the Zelda movie. Do you have any knowledge
All
on
we
that?
know is, all I've found out was it will be live action,
Yeah, yeah.
and they're working with. Was it I think it was like the director who directed Morbius, I want to say. So some people were kind of upset about that, and some other movies that were like meh. But
Man,
I was like, I mean, Nintendo
Zelda
was
time.
so strict with the Mario movie. I feel
Yeah.
like they wouldn't just give it to anyone, so they probably had some crazy stipulations, or full control on the script, or they can throw it out and rewrite it and all that. I'm just curious, like whoever they cast for Link,
Mm.
is he going to be speaking in this, or no? There's going to be no speaking, because in
Yeah.
most of the games it's just ha ha,
Yeah, for
yelling and this
sure.
and that. He only talked in the
In the
cartoon.
excuse me, princess.
Right. That's all we know from that. So whether he's
Yeah.
going to be speaking, I don't know.
I honestly would love um a Zelda film like the Mario movie. Just do that.
Animate it, yeah.
That would be
Right.
nice. Because like you have this technology today to do this great looking, awesome Pixar, super detailed, cute movies, and now you can just finally do the video game stuff, throw it in there. But talking about
Hmm.
live action, there's one movie that I would love as a live action, and it would be for the family, but I would make it a little bit gritty in some way, and that's like
Okay.
Metroid.
Oh yeah, yeah.
um
I'm sure there's
I would
plans for
love
that,
that.
and that would be way better as live action
Yeah,
rather than
I think you
animated.
cannot fail with that for sure. And like using all the power-ups, people like all the dads might just cheer in the movie theater, oh the ball, stuff like that. Or
Right,
the
right.
rocket, like this, we want to see this. But the only live action movie that I loved, and this is old and you've probably seen them, is the old Turtles, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movies.
Oh yes, yeah, yeah, yeah.
But of course they had to go live action because what were they gonna do back then? Like cartoon. I mean, there
Right.
was the cartoon, but they couldn't. I mean, they could have done a cartoon movie,
I
but
guess it could have been, yeah, a cartoon movie,
yeah,
because they did that with GI Joe.
but I feel like this really fit. It's just I feel it's these. I mean, the live action Mario movie was horrifying, but when I saw it, I saw the Mario movie
Hmm.
before. Well, not before I played Mario. I remember owning Super Mario Bros. 3, but I was more on my Sega. So
Okay.
I got introduced to this Mario movie, and I liked it because I didn't. I guess I realized it was a Mario film, but if you look at it and you watch it not as a Mario film,
Hmm.
it's not too bad because nothing makes sense in the movie. Nothing is
Right, right.
Mario anything. Like,
Well, they have little tidbits in there where
yeah,
they have like a bomb that they load into their shoes so they
yeah,
can like
stuff like
jump
that.
higher.
When I see that stuff, I'm like, oh my god,
Or they had
the bomb bombs,
the bomb bombs was in there. They
Yeah,
had
yeah,
the bouncer lady at the bar that they went to was called Big Bertha,
that was
which is the
nice.
fish.
That was a nice
So
touch.
they're pulling these little tidbits
Yeah,
here and there, so
there's
it has
gold
charm.
there and there. Toad is just some dude. That was a fail.
Right. I didn't really get that, but
The Koopas
Yoshi's
looked
in it.
strange, man. Wow, Yoshi, man. Wow. When I saw Yoshi, I was like, what is this freaking alien?
But yeah, it has a place in its time,
Yeah, of
essentially.
course.
And
Like
what's
I
funny with that one,
yeah,
I watched this show Corridor Digital on YouTube, who does
yeah,
all about
they're
reaction to like
great.
special effects. Have you seen them?
Fixing movies,
Yeah,
scenes at least. Scorpion King
and
and stuff.
right.
Yeah,
So they explained the Mario movie without the Mario movie. They actually created like technology to make that movie, like with animation and some other stuff. Without that movie, it wouldn't have paved the way for so many other
yeah, for
movies.
sure.
So Can't hate on it that much.
The best video game movie of all time is Last Starfighter. That's cool.
Oh yeah, you like
But
that one?
the thing with that one is though, he's like playing this arcade game and he doesn't know it's a test for him to be like this fighter to help them
Actual
in
fighter,
space.
yeah.
It's kind of cool. I really would like a remake of that and make it more awesome, like the MCU movies. Like give us like these amazing effects and visuals in that
Right.
and maybe get Tom Holland or something to play the guy or something.
Oh yeah.
But it's kind of cool with that one. That is an NES game, and the NES game is nothing special.
Oh
But
yeah, I
the
can't say if
movie
I
is
played
great.
it though. Movie's good.
Yeah,
Yeah, I haven't. I've
that's
seen the
quite
movie
funny.
back in the day, so I'd like to go back and revisit it for
Oh,
sure.
you gotta check it out. So yeah, Fallout. I'm a big Fallout fan. I'm a huge Fallout fan from like I love the first game and the second game, like the old ones
Mhm.
before Bethesda took over and made it like
Oh,
first
okay.
person 3D. The other two ones were old school, like top down, like StarCraft and Warcraft and those games.
Oh, okay.
So that's a completely different thing. But the third game really got me into gaming. Like it's basically the third Fallout game and the fourth Elder Scrolls game, Oblivion. Those two games are basically
Mhm.
the reason why I'm here, because through Oblivion, I found Gixty17, who is the first Let's Player, the first YouTuber I ever found. And that's how I started to talk in front of like a webcam. And so I have many things to Fallout 3 and Oblivion to do this, but like Fallout 4 and all this new stuff, I'm not really following that. I'm just kind of in the
I
old
see.
times. So
Yeah.
yeah, I think you can't go wrong with a Fallout TV show because it's such an interesting time in history, and it's like World War II feel to it, 60s,
Mhm.
40s, 50s, 60s feel to it, but also the technology is quite more advanced than it would have been then, and that's kind of cool mix.
Yeah, it's definitely a good aesthetic, and a lot of people love
Kind of
all
like
all
the
that stuff
Loki
for
show.
sure.
Reminds me of
Right.
that.
I could see it. I could see
Yeah.
it for sure. I never got to play much of the games. I played Fallout 4 for maybe a week or so and couldn't
Mm.
get into it. It was, I don't know, maybe just too open world or too many things to do with
Yeah.
crafting and missions and
Yeah.
this and that.
I mean,
I need to be more focused.
the crafting thing, it should have been like the dream. Like you're in this nuclear world. Of course, crafting should be like awesome, but it just wasn't. They didn't make it. They didn't nail it at all.
Okay.
But there are some mods for Fallout 3 and 4, but I think it's more cool in my eyes to do it in 3.
hmm
And there are some mods
Okay.
that made this stuff really work. And in Fallout 3 and another game after that called Fallout New Vegas, really similar engine,
hmm
like the old engine. There was like these motorbikes, cool, like really cool Star Wars motorbikes, like
Okay.
stuff scattered around this inn, but you can't go on them. But there's mods to
Oh, it's
make
like
you
a
ride
tease.
them now, stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
So
Nice.
yeah, the mod
So yeah,
community.
so it's been announced that there's going to be a TV show. So
Yeah.
I think it's going to do well. There's pretty good fan
I
base in
think
there.
also Bethesda, so it's a huge praised company, like all these games, Elder Scrolls and the Starfield game and all that. I think I think they will do it right.
Yeah.
Another topic here, we can just throw this in quickly. You just have to stop me. You know I can ramble on. I wanted to talk about like you and Stephanie, and like you guys are wonderful together. It's so cool that she's willing to, like, not everyone is want to be in front of the camera. And I mean, if she
Mhm.
wasn't in front of the camera, she could have been like helping you out, maybe not editing wise, but like helping you out with the lighting when you're trying to set up an angle.
Right.
That's cool also, but I think it's mega cool that she's like completely with you on this. And you did the proposal. I saw that.
Yes.
That was in the vlog
Yes.
you did there. So that is really nice to she could have just put the hand in front of the camera like, don't film this, but it's nice to
Right, right.
you guys are both in on this, and you like, now you have this moment in time forever on YouTube for you guys to
Yeah, I
and
want
I
to say
saw in the gaming room when you were
Oh, right.
making. She was helping me out, and my girlfriend is helping me out with all my. She's super supportive, but she wouldn't necessarily put a banana costume on and do a bit with me in a video where I'm, but we have this great support in different ways.
Right. I said, yeah, she didn't mind jumping in and helping out. She's good with power tools. So she was like cutting wood and helping me hang stuff.
Yeah,
And yeah, again, like she was all about being on camera. I
mm.
did make a date me video that I showcased all my, YouTube videos and kind of like those old school
Yeah,
date videos you see in the 80s. And she's seen that. And very early on when we were just dating, I got us in like a vlog video that I was filming. So I have us in that. And then early, I did a series where it was like my girlfriend guesses Mega Man bosses
that was
names.
nice.
So, and I wanted to
That was
continue this
hilarious.
series. I guess I'll have to change it now to my wife guesses.
Yeah,
But
you should do that.
that,
That
that was
that's
kind
so
of fun.
funny to see not a non-gamer, but someone who just isn't in on all these things. Like you can see some
Right.
strange creatures from a Zelda game. Like, what is this? Oh, that's a turtle plane. Like, no, but okay. That's so funny to see that.
Yeah, but it's great that she helps me out with this and
Yeah,
jumps in on various videos. I have another YouTube channel where I do food reviews, snack time it's called, and she'll
yeah.
jump in on some of those.
And
So
I love how creative you are with all these things, and you're like I've seen YouTubers on YouTube and all that stuff. Like I'm in the know, but like you are,
mhm,
in my eyes, just insanely hard working on this thing. It's
for
really
sure, for sure.
dedicated, and like my friend was, when you did I actually watched it on the TV when he did the horror
Hmm.
thing. He did a
Oh
horror
yeah, the
short
short horror.
film,
Hmm.
"Be My Valentine" or something it was called.
Oh yeah, my bloody
My
Valentine.
Bloody Valentine. Yeah, I watched that, and a friend of mine, I sent him a link, and he was watching it as well. And he was like, "Are you sending me the right channel?" I was like, "Yeah, what do you mean?" He wasn't meaning this in a bad way, but he was like, "Man, he doesn't have all the subscribers that he deserves," and this is stuff that many people get. Like I say this with you, I say this with Game Dave, I say this with the NES Complex,
Yeah,
uh,
yeah.
all these guys. But I feel like, to me, like, of course I would like to see you with millions of subscribers, but here's like a question: like, if you would just explode tomorrow, and that would put so much pressure though
True.
on
Yeah,
you to
yeah,
start
yeah, absolutely.
delivering some things.
It's
Of
definitely a
course,
weird line to
yeah,
walk.
yeah, exactly. Like I was thinking about this when I was starting live streaming, like 2013. I had
Hmm.
500-600 viewers every single stream because I had so many other people that I knew, and they were always like rating me, like putting the viewers over to
Oh,
me.
okay. Yeah, yeah,
And because
yeah.
I was
Like
streaming like
sharing it.
old school games, they were like, "Oh man!" And they told some other people, and then it came on. And I could have probably stopped working at the job I was working then, but of course I didn't. I was like, I can't do that. Are you kidding me? 600
Right,
people,
right.
that's nothing. And I thought that then, but today,
Oh,
if
I
you're
see.
if you're streaming in front of 300, 500 people, that's a lot. You can just totally, maybe not stop working, but, and that's the same with YouTube. I'm unsure how it is when you get a hit,
Hmm.
if it's like
Well,
pace nice.
it's tough. Like I had a few videos do real well that were unfortunately shorts. So you get paid way less
Yeah,
on shorts because they're
not
what,
enough
10,
view
20
view
seconds or
time.
whatever.
Yeah,
Right. But I had one, it's at like, I don't know, 10, 20 million views
yeah,
of me putting a Mario Kart steering wheel on my car to like drive it. So that hit, which got me tons of subscribers.
yeah,
So now if you go to my channel, I have like 54,000 subscribers.
yeah.
But you look at any of my long form content, they all have like 300 views,
Hmm.
200 views, like
Yeah,
way less than like what you think. And I've been on YouTube for 12 years, so it's
yeah,
like a weird struggle where I'm like does YouTube just not know what to do with my channel?
And it's
Is it not
also
suggesting
like
the videos?
you got all the quality, for content. You're not just like, I'm not saying anything bad. Like, I can't say anything bad about anyone. I haven't made a single damn video, so
True,
I
true.
can't, and I would never trash on anyone. But I'm just saying, there's this fantastic YouTuber. He has a channel called Pixelated Memories, and he has done these couple of shows throughout the years where he's doing reviews of games. But his webcam or this cam that he has is really bad. At least the first like 10 videos, it's really bad. But then now he has a nice equipment. But I was always thinking, like, man, he is so good. His voice is like perfect for like these comedy bits that he does. His editing is great. He has a nice flow. Really interesting points on the games that he's playing. But like, man, this camera that he has is crap. But I kept thinking about this camera is crap, not thinking about the guy who was doing this in front of this crap camera.
Right.
But now he has a better camera, but he isn't any better because the HD or not. But I don't know. There is this standard that people think like nowadays. Like, you can't just start a YouTube channel with a crap camera. You have to get the camera. You have to get the mic.
Right.
It's quite
competition
sad.
is just up there.
Yeah, it's quite sad. But yeah, to end this podcast off, you have any plans? Like, is there anything you, of course, you and me being Daddy Game, we are not collecting crazy as we maybe would. Like, I have my eyes on, like, maybe I could gift myself as a birthday gift at some point, like maybe either go for like an Atari Jaguar just because I want to own it, and maybe I have so much stuff in my collection that is I own it only because it's going to be on camera or reviewed in a video.
Okay.
So I have, and Game Dave has been telling me this, and Knobtop and you and other people, like, you got not just the collection, but you got stuff in the collection that you've already planned to use. So I have content for years in here. So,
oh yeah, for sure.
But yeah, to the question for you, anything you are looking or have your eyes on collection wise, or anything you are doing differently with the channel? Because now you have the wife and the baby. Do you want to do like a family thing in the future, or different type of vlogs?
I was gonna try to maybe start a kids channel.
Yeah.
Funny enough, so my name's Russ Lyman, and people often confuse it, reading it together as Russly Man, because how it's spelled RUSSLYMAN, like a Russly man, like I'm a burly man. So I was like, maybe I could do a kids channel where I dress up like a lumberjack.
Yeah.
And I'm Russly Man, and I do kids content because we've been watching a lot of Miss Rachel on YouTube, and Gwen seems to like that. And I was like, I can make kids content. Like that seems easy. So I might try my hand at that. We'll see. And then I'm continuing doing my podcast stuff, and then hopefully something happens with the Russ Lyman channel. I don't know. Continue put out videos, and hopefully people enjoy them and find them. Maybe the algorithm will play in my favor sometime.
Yeah, but I think like even I haven't done anything. It's coming. I feel when I finally edit the video and I finally have it done and I click that upload button and it goes on YouTube. Like, no one is gonna rush on it. People would have maybe rushed on it a couple of years ago when I went on like TV, and shortly after I was on TV, like they came over to. It's a TV show where they go and check out interesting people around Iceland with interesting hobbies, and I was an interesting like choice. So I had some cloud or whatever it's called then, and then right after that I did Game TV, which is an Icelandic gaming show here in Iceland, and I did that. So back to back, what I should have done, at least had a video ready, uploaded when I went on TV. I could have uploaded like the same day as the TV thing came on, because then people start to prowl and look for me, and then they see the video.
Right.
But what I did is I went live the second after it was done on TV. I went live on stream, and I got a lot of people. Okay. But that's where a lot of people started to figure me out and find me. But like, people know about me in Iceland. Like, I'm Leikjarinn. It means like the gamer in Icelandic. and stuff like that. I have so many things ready. I have almost a finished script on a game, but I just have to find the time to do. I mean, I could do in just one session all the on-screen stuff,
Right.
and
Get
then the
that done in one
B-roll
day.
later, and I could just
That's
do.
it. You just got to plan it out.
Yeah, I gotta
Essentially,
plan it
and
out for
take it
sure.
one goal at a time. Essentially,
Yeah.
we'll get there.
Also, like, I really like this with the weekly warp pipe. Me working out on sea, I'm gonna have to throw her on there because we sail a lot, like 40 minutes, 50 minutes. Try to listen to something, or if I'm doing just something mundane, like doing knots or fishnet, So guys, check out the weekly warp pipe. It's you and SNES.
NES Addict or
NES Addict,
J.
yeah. I thought it was SNES Addict. NES Addict and Russ Lyman.
The NES Addict. That's it. Every week. You can find us on Spotify,
Yeah.
iTunes, and on YouTube as well if you want to visually see us.
Yeah. You use Anchor for this stuff?
Yeah, we go through Anchor. I guess.
Oh, it's Anchor? Oh, man.
Oh, wait. No. You know what? We did switch. We're using StreamYard.
Oh, man. I gotta check it out.
There's so many.
These are things I'm going to have to do like tomorrow. So
take notes.
Yeah, guys, thank you so much for joining me. Leikjarinn podcast episode 2. The reason why it's episode 2, but there's 3 videos. The first video was just me, myself, and I. It was actually nice to do a self-cast, and I recommend it if you haven't done it before. It's just like you just kind of talking to yourself for an hour. And I mean, as content creators, even though you have more content than me, but hey, we are really comfortable in front of this metal object in front of us. Just talking to this is like nothing. It's easy. So maybe you should try to do a self-cast. I think it's just called a self-cast. It's just you can just do it in the weekly warp pipe. If NES Addict at some point might be just sick as a dog, you could just do like a onesie, just you.
Yeah.
That's also interesting as well. Good. So yeah, thank you guys for joining us, and check out the weekly warp pipe. This is the Leikjarinn podcast, and episode 3 might be an NES maker developer, Fist the Games. If not, someone else, but Fist the Games will be here at some point. We have really strange time differences, so we'll see. So yeah, see you guys around. This is Russ. I'm Leikjarinn.
Cheers.
See you guys around. Thank you.